Today on the show, Radical Ones, your sister's a werewolf with 1985's The Howling II.
Where is Stirba? Where is Stirba?
It's time to get radical.
Hello there.
It's showtime.
What is this, trick-or-treat?
Did I do that?
Good morning, Charlie.
The champion of justice.
Daddy would have gotten us Uzis.
The power is yours.
Get down, honey, get down!
And look, I won't go far, okay? If the apocalypse comes,
Hold your fire! I'm a
My
human!
name is Grace Jones.
Thunder! 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 Thundercats!
Power of 3 will set us free. Power of 3 will set us free. Power of 3 will set us free.
But I ain't one to gossip, so if anyone asks you, you ain't heard it from me. No, you have?
No more room in hell. The dead walk here.
Rise from your grave.
Welcome back, Radical Ones, to another episode of the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. As always, I am your host, Radical Ryan Hunter. I am here with everyone's favorite brother and mine, David, for another episode of the podcast. And David, your sister's a werewolf.
Well, you know what? There is a she-wolf in my closet. Let her out so she can breathe.
David's doing a little Shakira for all the Radical Ones out there. Yes, we're feeling very wolfy today, David. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is one of the ones growing up that you watched countless times, right? This is a big one, I feel like.
Yeah, it was. And looking at it now, I do know why. Wait, what is that? What is that music, Ryan?
Oh my god.
Pale lights of the moonglow. I got a hunger that's emotional, hunger that I can't control.
Can we talk about that band, David? What was that?
So, in this movie, there is a band that you're going to have to bring out your 80s info of bands from the 80s for those of us who are listening. This band was a mixture of what I called the Cars from the 80s and Christian Death. And a little bit of German Tourist. I don't know. So...
In the pale
light, in the pale light of the moon, I got a hunger and since they got their money's worth out of this theme song because it played like I don't even think there was a scene where this wasn't played before, after, or during. The whole movie. It
transitioned. It was the transition music of every scene.
I heard this song so many times that I was going to go download it, but you can't get it. Probably because they said they used the song so much that you can't even get it anymore. It's been used up.
Legend says it's still playing somewhere. Still. Oh, this is crazy. You want to talk about a blast from the past that has to do with that? One of our friends on Instagram, Jim from Jim's Retro Emporium, he posted this in his story a few weeks ago on Instagram, and it said there was a Hall & Oates number. It's the Hall & Oates emergency line, and if you call it, the rumor was it was still open.
I did, and it does work.
Works. And David, it's like an old school press 1 to hear Maneater, press 2 and it plays the song, but it sounds like it's on a tape somewhere, like a la Night of the Comet on a radio station.
Can I just tell you, I love that, and I don't understand why it exists, but I love it.
Yes, who made, like, that? Was that the Hall & Oates fan club, or is this like a joke, like a hardcore fan has just set this up?
Here's the thing, so my kids love the show Victorious. Does everyone know Victorious?
I guess this is in reruns, I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah, Netflix. So, The Slap. They used to be on the thing called The Slap, which was, I guess, would have been like YouTube, not YouTube, would have been like Facebook and or MySpace-ish.
Okay. Okay.
That time thing. And I actually tried to go on to www.theslap, and it goes to Nickelodeon Studios, but it doesn't, there's no more Slap. But
oh, so it actually must have been something at the time?
It was probably part of the thing where like the stars,
like clips of the show and pictures and stuff like that. Yeah. But David, let's get into today's movie, shall we?
party time. Ow! It's the rocking, shocking, new wave of horror. Howling II.
Your dreams again, howling.
Howling II. It's not over yet.
So this is David Howling II, Your Sister is a Werewolf, which actually goes under the other title of Stirba, Werewolf Bitch. And that is a real title in other countries and other cuts of the movie. From December 1985, so little Ryan was around for a month.
So my Instagram handle is Stirba the Wolf Bitch.
Stirba the Wolf.
But you can also reach me at the Howling II. Your sister's a werewolf. Hashtag werewolf love.
Stirba Werewolf Bitch. This is a sequel to the 1981 classic film, and it is the only sequel in the Howling franchise that directly follows the original film's event, and it also is the only film to feature the input of the original novelists of the Howling. So some elements of the sequel may have deliberately diverted from the previous film, and it's a cult classic, but it's a complete departure from the first Howling, because the first Howling was very serious, and dare I say, I don't know if they're doing it intentionally, but this is a comedy in some ways, or it's not supposed to be, but it is.
You got comedy out of this?
Well, when you get things like, there was various part I thought was supposed to be funny.
No, it was just poor acting, Ryan.
Like the werewolf, I will kill her. That wasn't supposed to be funny.
Let me kill her.
I have a totally different take on this movie, being that we were... Ryan's like, it was so funny seeing everyone be shredded to death by werewolves.
No, it
God.
was.
Eyes exploding out of their heads, and I just laughed myself silly. I loved going into a demonic, satanic ritual. I just thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen.
No, but you know what made me think it was they're trying to be funny? But now I realize, having read what I researched, was Stirba, played by Sybil Danning, is it? Sybil Danning?
Sybil Danning, yeah.
She said she would only do one nude scene. So I think the end, when they repeat her unveiling her breasts 17 times, to me that was supposed to be funny. Or they would just be like, well, guess what? Here's that same scene 17 times. You only wanted one?
So if you were a little straight boy watching this movie, you were watching the ending credits and doing something.
In the pale,
In the pale, pale light of the moonglow, I got a hunger that's emotional, hunger that I can't control.
For those of our loyal listeners, you know that we just finished the summer of swords and sorcery, which I also dubbed the breast or the titty summer, because every movie had to have gratuitous. This again was that 80s formula, gratuitous nudity. But Sybil Danning, beautiful body. My goodness, man! If I would want that body.
She is, of course, Stirba, the werewolf in this movie, but also David Christopher Lee plays.
Love that.
Stefan?
Stefan, brother.
Her brother / incestuous, you could never resist me.
Stefan, you never could resist me.
What was going on here? And plus, wait
a minute. We're getting way ahead of ourselves. I know you think you're trying to make comedy out of this, right? But so in the very beginning of this movie, first of all, even though we make fun of the soundtrack, as far as they played this song over, it does.
I loved it.
It does move the movie along.
Yes.
The opening scene is this Stefan saying what appears to be denouncing Satan, some sort of a biblical thing, and it's very dramatic, and I absolutely live for it.
For it is written, The inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with her blood. And I saw her sit upon a hairy beast, and she held forth a golden chalice full of the filthiness of her fornications. And upon her forehead was written, Behold, I am the great mother of harlots and all abominations of the earth.
I mean, we were raised Christian Catholic, and so we have a lot of that imagery anyway. So this is like really feeds into it, because this is like definitely, again, that good against evil. You know, they're arming themselves with holy water and blessed artifacts against this evil demon werewolf woman that like conjures like power from the devil, so to literally. So I totally am down with that. That was not a comedy.
But okay, so it's Christopher Lee over a space background with, and I'm not even saying this as a joke, like one of those skeletons that hang in like a science class behind him. And then it cuts to, it's the funeral of the original Howling movie's main character. Not the same actress, but this is now two sisters, because it's double, and I'm assuming that's the whole thing. There's two sisters. It's the sister of the original character from the Howlings, the brother, and Stefan is the brother of Stirba, and they're both werewolves.
So you start in the beginning where Ben is going to
White,
his sister's funeral, Karen White's funeral.
What a name, Karen White.
Then you're introduced to Jenny Templeton, who is an actual reporter who is covering the unusual deaths of people by canine mauling. This is what it was presented.
Still alive.
You sick, buddy? My sister's dead.
It is our immortal soul which is in very grave danger.
I just buried my sister. Please leave me alone.
Let me give you my card. Call me, please.
Why don't you just get the hell out of here?
Excuse me. Who is that man?
I don't know.
May I see that card?
Sure, Jenny.
Stefan Crosscoe, occult investigator. Mr. Crosscoe,
Miss Templeton,
how do you know my name?
I've seen you on television.
What do you know about the death of Karen White?
I know that she is a werewolf.
Mr. Crosscoe,
Jenny, what did he say?
he said your sister is a werewolf.
Oh, bullshit.
So she's in the church. Can I just tell you? You see that Stefan is lurking in the back of the church, and you also see these characters that appear to be very out of place, that are very watchfully looking on and watching that everything that's going on and kind of waiting, just like Stefan is waiting. But there's Stefan in the church, and then these other, which turn out to be werewolves, are in the cemetery and this and that. You know, we go on, and I don't know about Jenny Templeton, the reporter, who is also linked to Ben somehow.
I actually didn't get this, David. It kind of seemed like the three of them, and I mean Christopher Lee's character, Stefan, they just kind of like got together at this funeral because of the situation.
So they went to Karen's funeral. I feel like Jenny Templeton knew about Stefan somehow because he was a well-known demonologist. So yes. I think she knew about him, and I think it intrigued her that he was at Karen's funeral. So you find out she follows Stefan, and he's
as a good reporter, Lois Lane would do.
Yeah, very Lois Lane. And you're finding out that he's trying to tell Jenny and Ben that his sister is a werewolf, that she was changed, that she was targeted.
Yes! Oh my god, yes.
By the werewolf community because she got too close to the real story, right?
That is exactly what happened. But she ended up turning on camera to try to, expose this, this underground community.
She was a television news reporter. The tape went missing of the filming of this transformation. And you go and find out that Ben and Jenny go back to Stefan's house, and he shows them this tape of his sister changing into a werewolf.
I'm very grateful to you both for coming here. We don't have very much time, so I will get to the point immediately. This type of bullet killed your sister. Unfortunately, they were removed during the autopsy, and as a result, she can never rest in peace. You notice anything about them?
They're silver.
Yes. You know what that means?
No, what?
This type of bullet, Mr. White, means your sister is a werewolf.
You better call the guys with the butterfly net.
Even now, there are great numbers of werewolves living secretly among us. Your sister was working on a story about one such group, was transformed.
Oh, come on.
Which is why she had herself killed.
You telling me my sister arranged her own murder?
Yes. To avoid the inevitable result.
Come on, Johnny, let's get out of here.
One moment, please. This is a videotape of Karen White's last news broadcast.
That tape disappeared after Karen was killed. No one ever saw it. May we see it now?
Of course. That's why I asked you to come here.
Karen! What's happening?
That's not my sister.
Ben, it isn't a fake. I recognize those people.
Ben is furious, and he basically, Jenny's like, I believe him. I work with the people in this video. It's not fake. This really happened.
I recognize those people in this video. At this point, I went back and I saw the clip from the original Howling at the ending. The quality is much different of the tape, but you get it. This is happening. It actually looks really creepy. It looks deteriorated. It gives you all those feels. And I gotta say, ambiance and atmosphere of this movie, I say this all the time.
Yes. It really did it for me. It really did it for me. So basically, Ben puts two and two together because he says that a person that is a werewolf, if they get killed by means of silver bullets or whatever the case may be, they will not rest because during the autopsy, they removed the bullets. So this kind of, I had wrote a note to you. I'm like, are werewolves like vampires? Like they can come back? Or because the silver was removed? I assume once you're dead, like you don't regenerate.
Well, first off, David, it definitely seems like there was some kind of hybrid vampire thing, maybe because of Christopher Lee, and they wanted to tie that into Van Helsing kind of thing, because there was garlic, there was steaks, there was the silver steak.
No, that was titanium.
Oh, titanium. But this is, I feel like, a cool mythos that if the bullets are removed, they do come back to life. So his sister, he's saying, is alive in this coffin. 80s hipster Christopher Lee, because he did have those shades at one point. Did you see? Remember he had those 80s glasses on?
No, when he was investigating in a club.
Oh my god, with the pale light people. Yeah.
So we're getting ahead of ourselves. So Ben puts two and two together that he is going to go stab his dead sister's body up to free her, which he doesn't believe. So they, chase after him to get to the cemetery.
But they're attacked by werewolves at this point, right?
Yeah, which they don't seem to be too
That's what
worried.
I'm saying, David. How is he like, no, not my sister, but I just fought these werewolves up until this mausoleum, but no, not my sister.
So they go in and he's really angry because he thinks that Stefan is defiling his sister's dead body.
But damn, does she change right then and there.
She changes, and Stefan also says at some point, werewolves will not allow a member of their own clan to be stuck in a consecrated ground.
Yes. They come for them.
So they're fighting. The other wolves are coming. There's a lot of firing and going back and forth. Jenny Templeton is the most... nothing really excites her. You know me in a crisis, Ryan. I get very stoic, and but I'm also, my heart is racing because I know that I have to maintain composure in order to get out of this alive or to protect somebody. So I am very good, but she takes it to another level. So anyway,
was she playing it cool to impress Ben this whole time? Because you're right, David. The woman had no emotions.
They're gonna get mauled by werewolves, and she was like, like she was picking out an ice cream flavor, but she wasn't sure. She's like, really don't know if I'm in the mood for Rocky Road or Vanilla, but all right, maybe strawberry. All right, I'll get that.
I know those people in that video. Even then, she was convinced, so that was it. You're right. So it doesn't take much.
From the very beginning, Jenny believed Stefan. So then Stefan grabs a hold of one of the older werewolves that, oh my god, this is the best.
With a net that randomly was there.
A tiny net that looked like, what? I'm trying to think of what movie I saw that in that was so stupid. It's like taking a toddler's blanket and throwing it over a full adult, and it's like they're trapped.
It was a toy net. Yes, it looked like Mousetrap, basically. They threw this over this older, werewolf. I would call him the caretaker. He had a little cap on.
That was harmed. He got hurt he got shot, and he's like, please spare, like, end my suffering. And Stefan's like, I'm not doing anything unless you tell me where Stirba is.
If you do not tell me, Ella, I can do nothing. Please help me. Where is Stirba? Dark country. I beg you. Rest in peace.
Where are you going?
Find Stirba. She is responsible.
Stefan, I'd like to go with you. I want to make sure that what happened to my sister never happens to anybody else again. I'm with you. Right to the end. Whatever it is.
So am I.
Yeah. She wants to write something and win a Pulitzer Prize.
Yes, among other things. When do we leave?
Immediately.
Where do we have to go to find Stirba?
To the dark country. To Transylvania.
We have to cut to Stirba at this point because while this is going on, one of the werewolves, this is all about girl power, that we see out and about is named Mariana.
And Stefan, wait a minute. There's a what does Stefan say about Mariana? She is, oh god, I wrote this down. I gotta find this.
Let me tell you about Miss Mariana. She wears her sunglasses at night. She is a beautiful, I don't know is she African American or is she Latina?
I don't know. She could be to me. She appears to be a black woman, but very pretty, very seductive.
And she wears, I love this, the classic Halloween skeleton earrings that you never see anymore, David. When is the last time you saw one of those 80s skeleton dangly earrings? Yeah. Such a throwback. Although I would never put this on a horror character, and I thought this was going to be scary. But Mariana is one of now Stirba's
calling to her. She's calling. So she's basically summoning her to the mother country. So you find out that
Transylvania.
The werewolf says that they're going to the dark country. Anyway, so Stefan deduces that that's Transylvania because that is the dark country, obviously evil, whatever, Dracula. So he says Mariana is the most vicious and evil of all of the werewolves, and she's immune to silver.
No.
Do you recognize her?
Yes, I saw her at Karen's funeral.
Indeed you did. Werewolves will never allow one of their kind to remain in consecrated ground.
That woman is a werewolf?
Her name is Mariana. She is one of the most vicious and one of the most dangerous kind. Because she is immune. Silver bullets are useless against such creatures. Quite useless. Only titanium will kill them.
But I was watching this with my husband. I couldn't help but spit out the water in the bed that I was watching this because...
Because David's little girl.
I hope that my daughter does not turn out to be the most vicious and cruel. She likes silver, so all right.
Mariana.
I was hysterical.
It hit close to home, this thing. So Ben and Jenny accompany Stefan to Transylvania to battle, he says, Stirba, an immortal werewolf queen.
So at some point you see inside Stirba's kingdom, castle, whatever, and there's a ritual going on, which I have to be honest with you, Ryan, a lot of this stuff in this movie did, I don't want to say not trigger me, but I really believe that whoever was doing this really was up on the occult. And in recent times we see that there's a lot of, they say, demonic activity and devil worshipping in Hollywood and the music industry, and I had to sell my soul to the devil really story is true, they say, kind of a thing. This, to me, I mean, I've never been to a demonic ritual, but this seemed pretty close to what I would imagine one would look like.
People in cloaks in the background. There's chanting. There's
blood sacrifices. There's fornication. There's like everything, upside down crosses. Like it's really, really,
and it's a castle in Transylvania, so they're really setting the scene.
It's very intense. It's very intense.
They're really setting the scene here. So, like David said, there is a virginal, I'm assuming, sacrifice going on, and we see this older woman. We're not sure who she is at first, and then we see her sucking in the essence of this young lady, and it is revealed to be Sybil Danning as Stirba.
So then you see her become Sybil Danning, and she throws her wolf skin thing off and her leather outfit, and she's all kind of done up, banging body.
Also, she has another person in her group, her minion, and the lusty werewolf siren, Mariana. That's all I keep thinking of. We get the trio together, right, of these wolves, and Stirba says to this gentleman, which, how did he get to be so high up in Stirba's court? She goes, "Does she please you? Take her."
Bring our new daughter. Stand up so I can see you. She is a huntress. She will bear us many fierce daughters and sons. Does she please you?
Very much.
Take her.
And then, David, I wrote, in the world of the Cats the Musical, we have a sex interpretive dance scene. Would you say this is anything but interpretive dance? Like this, okay, so this had to have been comedy, right? Or they really thought they were going for like the wolf, like they have a wolf sex scene.
But they're all like covered in hair and gross and half transformed. And so that's that.
Yes, they're not full animals.
It is comical, but it was just very bizarre. While this is going on, she's saying that she will bear them many children.
Yeah, how does this work? Oh, they like spreading the werewolf, the curse then. Spreading the curse.
Werewolf. But in the meantime, they're Stefan and Ben and
Jen. Oh my god, this is our newest Ben and Jen.
Ben and Jen go. They almost get attacked by a werewolf on the road.
One of my favorite scenes, David. They're driving in this little village of it's called the Balkans, I think, arriving in the Balkans. They're in the car. They stop because the locals are gathered around this older woman in, like you would see in all the village, on the floor. I love this. It's a trap. It's a trap! Because they scatter, and this woman is a werewolf.
You need any help?
This woman was hit by a car. We must get her to a doctor quickly.
Let's get her in the car right now.
It's a miracle. You have been sent by God.
Oh, she's trying to say something. Oh, you okay? What? What, dear? Hmm? Oh.
Where the hell everybody go?
They're here. They're not here.
Stefan, please.
Stefan, where are you going?
Why are you leaving?
I'm going to the village. I will see you there later.
Well, let's get out of here.
So, David, this town is much like I wrote in Vamp. The town is infested with vampires, and this time is infested with the werewolves. Or Salem's Lot 2. Do you remember that movie they made, Salem's Lot 2, where the whole town was...
So basically, again, Stefan tells them that the town, like, in other words, they've embraced the dark side. A lot of them are werewolves. Some of them are werewolf supporters or would hope to be changed into werewolves at some point, I guess. It's almost like a familiar for a vampire, I guess. They want to be turned into a werewolf as payment. Maybe werewolves live longer, or I don't know.
This town votes werewolf. But this is where, David, Stefan leaves Ben and Jen and just goes,
I'm going to prepare myself for the battle.
But doesn't he just go to the town and, do normal things, but, warns them that, like David said, the town is full of this, don't trust anybody. But he just leaves them with no...
So they go into the town, they get to the hotel, and they're their room is number 666, and Ben goes to a
Werewolf,
bunch of older men. Yeah, the older men that look like just sloppy pervos that are sitting in this
smiling.
Yeah, creepy. He goes, this building doesn't look like it has six floors. And he's like, he says something to the effect of, you would think, or ha ha, like he's laughing.
This hotel doesn't look like it has 6 floors.
I know. Funny, isn't it?
This way, please.
So they go upstairs, and for some reason, I don't know if it's just sex in the air, like Rihanna. The sex in S&M,
You know,
because
she loves the smell of it. Jen loves the smell of it.
Because all of a sudden, she tells Ben, I need you to hold me.
I'm scared. Hold me. But nothing scared her prior to this.
I need you to hold me. And then they proceed to have sex. And the werewolves outside are smelling the sex from the window. And they're going, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like they're going, ooh, ooh. Like just light growls and stuff. Because they're really, they get the scent.
Where's Stefan?
I don't know. I don't know what the hell we're doing here.
I need you to hold me, Ben. Oh, Ben. Thank you. I'm so scared.
Take care of me.
Oh. Ben.
So this is a throwback to a movie from years ago for us that I would love to do. But Dawn of the Mummy, the sex of the heat of the photo shoot has let the mummy awaken.
Activated the mummy. The
sex in the hotel activates the werewolves. They are their sense glands are going off. This happens, and by the way, it's mentioned that there's a moon festival going on in this town. So I love that, of course.
The whole thing is that basically implying that Stirba is doing all this because because there's some sort of like it's like the Queen's Golden Jubilee. It's like once in a millennia the moon's going to align. The dawning of Aquarius or something. When something's going to happen. She said that some people, like the wolves, are having trouble not keeping their human form because they're being drawn to do this. So then they go out and explore the festival, and one of my favorite lines: "You see that dwarf staring at us? Should we follow him?" What?
Yes.
You see that dwarf staring at us. Should we follow him? And Ben's like, yeah, whatever.
You see that dwarf staring at us?
Yeah.
Should we follow him?
Why not?
So they follow him. His name is Vasil. Vasil is part of Stefan's team. There's Vasil, Constantine, and Luca. And then there's
the
priest.
father.
So they're gathering up their religious artifacts. They're gathering up weapons, relics, religious artifacts, things like that. And Stirba, did you notice like Stirba and J-Lo kind of wearing the same sort of designs, like for the J-Lo at the Super Bowl when she gets off the pole with the...
It was like black leather.
Yeah, it was giving me J-Lo realness. I was waiting for her to be like, waiting for tonight. Oh, we're gonna put them. You got to put that side by side, Ryan. J-Lo's Super Bowl, like when she stripped down finally, and Stirba's like full on. I don't know what this whole outfit was.
It's like leather though, mixed with like a
metallic,
like Asian inspired, like
kind of look like when hockey goalies have that.
An umpire or something, right? Like an Empire outfit. Umpire?
No, that's not the Empire. It's not the Empire Star Wars.
Umpire. So they get to this church, and I love this, David. This is where, yes, they just so happen to follow the little person. Stefan was there. He introduces each one, and each one has a backstory and a flash of why the three men and who they killed in their lives, and why they've joined together to kill Stirba.
Were they followed?
Yes.
Vasila, would you go outside and keep watch?
Okay. Followed by whom?
There are many people in this village who have joined the forces of evil. But these men have sworn to fight Stirba. Vasila lost his elder brother, Constantine, his daughter, and Luca's wife was killed last summer. This is the woman that we are looking for. It is the same woman that you saw at Karen's funeral. She will lead us to Stirba.
Where do we start looking for her?
She will be at the village festival. And we will find Stirba.
I hope I find her first.
No. No, you will leave that to me. For the time being, I just want you to behave as ordinary tourists, enjoy the festival, and keep your eyes open.
Well, how do we keep in touch with each other?
Constantine and Luca will set up a puppet booth in the square, and you can communicate with me through them or through Father Florin.
What about you? What are you going to be doing?
I shall stay here with Vasila and wait.
Well, there must be something else we can do besides just sit around and wait.
Oh, yes, there is. A little patience.
I don't have any patience. I think I want to go take a look around. Come on, Jenny, let's go.
One moment. Would you take these holy medals and wear them? They will protect you.
And this is the worst group in history, because let me tell you, spoiler radical ones, they do crap.
No, they do shoot up a bunch. So basically, at some point,
he gives them protective medals. Stefan.
He gives them protected blessed medals. There's wax, like blessed wax to put in the ears, because apparently one of Stirba's powers is to melt your brain from the inside with her evil Latin demonic chanting.
Glad you're here.
Put them in your ears, they're blessed.
They're blessed? Okay.
Oh, wait a minute, Ryan. I have werewolf sex scene freaky shit with Vlad, Stirba, and Mariana.
Yeah, that's that thing where she goes, she's making sounds, Stirba, and like looking at them going, and they're just like wolfing about in the bed, half transformed with the hair.
So they're gathering up, and Ben says something. I want something more traditional. I'm not much of a holy water, holy vessel. So he gives him a gun. He's like,
Ben's boring too, by the way.
Well, I mean, listen, for the 80s, I wouldn't have kicked him out of my bed.
He was a typical 80s dude. Yes,
I would have said, okay. Ben, I'm scared. Hold me.
What's that?
These are our weapons. Prism, the consecrated oil. Wax from the sacred candles to protect our ears. A dagger forged from titanium. And a chalice which held the sacred blood of Christ.
Don't you have any more conventional weapons?
Oh, yes. Also titanium. Holy water. And this belonged to Vasila.
I'll take that. I know how to use this. All right, I'm ready.
Before he gets together with the little guy and they go to the castle, there's a scene in between this where Stirba is with Mariana and the third in command. And Mariana says that line that we were saying off camera. Like, they're coming for you. Let me kill him.
And then Stirba's response, she's like, let me kill him. She's like, you're sweet, but not necessary. You're sweet. You're sweet. Like, I love that. It's like, I'm going to shred him. Oh, you're so sweet for doing that. But no, it's not necessary.
Sorry, not necessary.
Stefan.
Yes. I have seen him. There is no doubt.
He's here.
He is in the village.
I have been waiting for him for a long time.
So you know him then?
He is my brother. He plans to destroy me, but I will destroy him.
Let me kill him!
No. You're sweet. But we cannot make a mistake. Not with him. We must lure him here where our powers are the greatest.
So she basically wants to draw Stefan to, she says to draw them to her where she is the most powerful. It's like the Nexus in Charmed.
Truly. So then one night it says Ben and Vasil find Stirba's castle nearby and are forced to flee after being spotted. And Vasil is killed in the escape.
Stirba's like, by Satanis. And she's, ooh. She's doing all these weird...
With lights appearing, laser show, her cape, she has a cape all of a sudden that's lighting up, neon orange lights, radioactive waves come out. And the holy wax falls out of Vasil's ears, and he goes, he screams and dies.
But he tells Ben to go. Then you see Jenny, while he's with Vasil, Jenny's being led away by the creepy bellman, who is the owner of the hotel's nephew. And he takes her, and she's like, I don't think we're going to she's like, Ben said to meet him at the gypsy camp. First of all, Ben is never mentioned to gypsy camp. Another J-Lo reference when she becomes a gypsy.
She steals the clothes right off
off the line, and she starts dancing. So I speak your name, J-Lo, in this movie.
Terrible.
So anyway, so then she's like, I don't think this is the way to the gypsy. And she goes, I don't know. No enthusiasm again. Love Jenny. But I really love her character. Everybody wants her. That's the best part. Everybody wants her. He tells her, the werewolf, he's a werewolf, the nephew says something to the effect of, I am going to make love to you. It's going to kill you, but you'll know what the pleasure of having been with a werewolf.
But first, you taste the pleasure of loving a werewolf.
I will come back and make you one of ours. You will know pleasures such as you have never imagined.
Oh my god, it's like I don't think you saw that second part of the He-Man Netflix thing, but when Skeletor had the power of Grayskull and Evelyn, she said, you'll break me. You have to take the power down. Take the He-Man power before you break me, Skeletor. That's what would happen to Jenny.
Anyway, he's on top attacking her, and he gets knocked out, and someone says control. He can't control his behavior. So then they take Jenny to Stirba's castle. They tie her up. They're putting blood on her, and Vlad says, you'll be one of us, and he's also going to make werewolf love to her, but he's going to change her. So she is irresistible. It's, you know what? She's got to be something. It's a scent.
Well, the scent, they could smell it when they entered the country from the windows. Oh my god.
It's like Bella in Twilight.
Oh my god, you're right. Oh,
I know I'm supposed to save you, Victoria, but you are so mouth-watering, Bella.
Oh. So, Vasil's corpse is reanimated. I love this, to lure Stefan into a trap, but he's saved by Ben at the last minute.
Where did you get this? You all right?
Yes, I'm all right. That was not Vasila. That was the magic of Stirba.
Stirba's castle, I found it.
This little tiny person that's going, Stefan,
with a little
and he's jovial, bouncing around, running, and Stefan is just walking like he's got no place to go.
The actress was doing this voice of a creepy kid, and you knew it was Vasil, right?
Stefan, and Stefan is just like he's just strolling, like he was in the mall, just looking at stuff in the windows, and this thing is like bouncing and running around. And finally, he throws Bastille out the window. Ben, because he's about to stab Stefan.
Stefan, though, he's seen it all. Christopher Lee is playing the most unenthused person, or the person who's seen it all. So you got both of those.
No, I don't think he's unenthused. I think he is pinpoint accuracy. He knows what he needs to do. He knows what needs to be done. And he has seen it all. So he is not... Listen, I love that actor. I loved him with any kind of anything. because he's just I don't know, he's a cool guy. I don't know, I like that he can do stoic and it's fine.
But this is what he is. He's always stoic, right? Yes, that's his.
He has a presence, and as Dracula, cool, super cool.
So is he immortal too if he's siblings with Stirba?
So then Stirba's gathering her power, he's praying, and it's like there's two sides of a coin.
The dark, the light.
He is older, where Stirba is older too, but she drains the life inside and makes her young again. So I don't know if they're supposed to be the same age or just actual siblings, and she becomes the werewolf queen, and throughout her life has done all these things to further her agenda.
Yes.
And that they're the same age, but she's obviously younger. And when she says, "I know you couldn't resist me," it did come off very incestuous, but I'm thinking maybe she meant because I'm your sister.
Oh, I hope.
Bound shall be all. Bound and sealed from Stirba, daughter of Satandar and Asentaser. Bound and held subject to his will.
Finally, we meet again.
For the last time.
Stefan, you never could resist me.
As thou burnest, so let the heart of
Stirba must be destroyed, but I will do it.
conjured by the Queen of Sard, by the underworld itself, by the sailors on the sea.
Stirba must be destroyed, and I will
by
do it.
Satanas, by the devil conjured be, by the underworld itself.
Stefan, come to me, my brother. You never could resist me.
Powers of the abattoir, bring him here to me. Powers of the Kokotwa, bring him quickly here to me. I join you all. Now go we all. Come, my beloved Stefan. Let us take our fill of love.
In the name of God.
Someone might say that, like a little sister, you could never resist me, like you want to, when I'm in trouble, you take the fall for me, or
okay,
like pouty eyes, you're gonna give me ice cream even though mom and dad said not to. I'm assuming, but then again, this one's into these weird wolf orgy things, so maybe she did. I don't know.
You know these wolf orgies they do in Transylvania.
I just put some freaky. That's what I put on my notes. Freaky bleep.
This is the grand finale.
Wait. Then there's the whole, again, the song playing, they're performing, and then they're having a big old grand orgy before to gather their power.
In the pale light of the moonglow, I got a hunger that's emotional, hunger that I can't control.
And are they playing at the fair, or is that just supposed to be cutaway of a club in California?
I do not know, but let me tell you something. And the other thing I wanted to bring up that I really liked was when they were going to Transylvania, Mariana got off of this really cool train, this whole train scene where she's picking her up and they sniff each other. Like, I thought it was really cool. This to me reminded me of I love that kind of, racing across the country. Like even Bram Stoker's Dracula, they did that. He was chasing the boat and like this whole cool thing. I adored it. This is another reason why we like the movie, the journey, the old world. They're on a old train. There's something to be said for it. And the architecture that they took pictures of, the gothic stuff, the scary stuff, the
statues
stuff,
the
macabre stuff, the catacomb sort of stuff, super cool. And that's what really made this movie for me.
I agreed. It gives you so much, again, ambiance. You feel like a classic, older, even in the 80s, older time with the gypsies and the Romanians and this and that. So yes, that this all happened.
Oh wait, I got one more thing before we get to the climax of this, no pun intended. What was she saying about, she was like, she had like a little book of translations, and she was Jenny, and when they were in the hotel room, she was trying to make werewolf sound sexy, or like, she was like, Baklava means whatever, and she's like, so we're in the town of Baklava.
Look, Ben, Volk, VLK. in the regional language translates to wolf. Vaklava means the place where wolves live. And we are in the center of Baklava.
I think that was supposed to be her foreplay and sex, because we knew she wasn't really scared when she said hold me either. Like we said, nothing bothered this woman. So this is her luring.
This is the problem for me. I'm usually the big spoon, so I can't say hold me. I wanted Ben to hold me too then, when I was, what was I, God only knows how old.
It was the year I was born, 85, so my God.
So then I was 5.
In the pale moonlight.
7-ish, 8-ish, I don't know, something like that. I really wanted Ben to hold me too. Hold me, Ben. And yes, I know what baklava is. I'm just making, for those who didn't get that, I know what that is.
Yeah, you love baklava. They arrive at the castle. They split up to find Jenny and kill Stirba. So Ben rescues Jenny, killing Mariana in the process.
And Vlad.
Yes. And flees the castle where Stefan and Father Florin confront Stirba. The father is killed by Stirba's demon. This thing, David.
Her demonic rodent on a stick.
And it went down his throat. It was horrifying, right? It was like sucking the father. I did not like her demon thing.
There was also a scene where Luca and the rest of them got picked off as they're going to the castle. Werewolves are coming on all different sides, surrounding them and attacking them, and they're shooting them, slicing them and stuff. So you can't say they didn't do something. Yeah. They killed off a good percentage of the werewolf army.
With nets, tiny nets. Grab your tiny fisherman
knife. They had titanium weapons, and Ryan, you're so mean. They did not die in vain. They died for the cause.
This was Odiella. His sister was also turned into... Yeah. Anyway, those bastards. So, Stefan manages to kill Stirba, who burns to death with her. So they kill 2 birds with 1 stone. They get rid of Stefan. They get rid of Stirba. But get this, David. It's not over yet. Sometime later. Ben and Jenny have returned to the United States and are living as a couple. A trick-or-treater knocks on their door, and they are confronted by what appears to be a child in a werewolf costume. After the
child was giving me Chewbacca mom, really.
Yes, the woman was like, the mask that goes off,
And Ben's like, cool mask, kid.
So this is funny. You're like, oh, ha. After the child goes into the apartment next door, they knock on the door and are met by a Romanian man who claims that he does not have a child but lives alone. I thought he had a father priest.
He looked like a priest. He had a white collar on. He looked like a priest. He's like, I have no children. It was almost like Gomez, or Fester or something from friggin' I have no children to speak of. Oh.
A classic Looney Tunes, horror voice, oh, master. But he was, I swear, the priest in that crowd when they stopped with the Romanian woman in the road, the werewolf. So I think that's the same person.
Oh, they're infiltrating, ready to turn them into werewolves?
I think that's what's happening.
Trick or treat!
Hell of a costume, kid.
Strange-looking child. I wonder where it came from.
Apartment across the hall.
Yeah, but that apartment's empty.
Somebody moved in while you were away.
Maybe we should ask them over for a glass of wine.
Why?
It's neighborly. Let's go. Good evening. We're your neighbors. Your child just knocked on our door.
My child?
Yeah, the kid in the wolf outfit.
But I have no child. I am not married. I am a bachelor and live alone. Won't you come in?
A little later.
I hope so. I hope so.
But they decline their offer to come for a drink, and they return to their apartment. Do they laugh? They don't. They go, ha ha ha. We're not going in that room. That apartment.
Maybe another time.
So that's the 80s of it all. But they didn't die yet, thank God.
I want to quickly go back to the scene with Stirba and Stefan. She's doing all these evil incantations by Satana, by blah blah blah, by this, and she's drawing him and pulling him with this laser light show. Power Ranger Voltron powers.
Yes. This is where the budget probably went for this movie.
And then he does Stirba, but when he pulls the knife, the titanium out of her, then the fire engulfs them, and she goes, "We will die together," or something like that. And and he's burning up with her. He's trying to get off of her, but they're held.
But didn't you have a feeling he wasn't going to make this? I mean, you've seen this movie how many times? But, like, you get the feeling along the way, like, Christopher Lee ain't going to make this movie. Like, he's going to end up dying. It's that sacrifice, we're going to stop the thing, but...
It was Buffy. He saved the world a lot.
Oh, he saved the world a lot. That's so true. So these are some of the taglines, by the way. Twice the terror, twice the torment. Nightmares never die. Torture, death, destruction, reign supreme in the castle of werewolves. Howling II, it's not over yet. The rocking, shocking new wave of horror. We have, of course, we got to talk about Stirba, Werewolf Bitch. Do you wish that they didn't go with that title in all of the countries in the release? There's some VHS I looked that actually say Stirba, Werewolf Bitch, and then some...
I'm gonna say I like the fact that it was true to it's Howling II. Your sister's a werewolf.
This is our final of the month of October before Thundercats. And truly, I think this is the perfect ambiance for a good old Halloween experience. For something that's not the normal Night of the Living Dead, Halloween, Freddy, Jason.
Nightmare on Elm shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a slasher. This movie can stand on its own, and has, because I really don't watch any of the other Howlings.
And they're so different from each other from what I'm gathering.
This movie stands on its own. Like, if this was just a standalone, I wouldn't even think, if it wasn't part of a franchise, I would have been like, yeah, it's just a standalone movie, Howling.
Do you think it would have done better originally if it wasn't connected to the Howling and it was almost like a vamp?
Honestly, there's also notoriety in that. That kind of gives you people who are a fan of the previous and people who are just interested in seeing where the storyline has gone to. So there's something to be said about that.
I have to bring up your friend, David. Robert Ebert spoke towards Sybil Danning's work in the film.
Yeah. What, porn?
And wrote that although it was close, it was not the worst movie Danning has made. Noting the film's heroes become involved in the inept and strange rituals of the occult of Stirba. He concedes that no one presides over a ritual quite as well as Sybil Danning. The scene where she rips open her dress is repeated twice during the closing credits. That's not true. That's not true, Ebert.
25 times.
It is much more than that.
Well, that's when he was done.
Providing the movie with its second and third interesting moments.
Interesting.
That's not true, Ebert. Like David said, that came... Matter of fact, it's over. I think it says 17 times officially. Whoosh, whoosh, with that sound effect of the whoosh, rip, whoosh.
I'm telling you, women, if you're going to get a breast augmentation, take a picture of Sybil Danning's breasts. Because if I had breasts, that would be it. Those would be the ones. They were perfect.
That's the video that you would bring to... I got a movie to show you. Your sister's a werewolf, and these are the breasts that I need, doctor.
I would bring them to Dr. 90210, Dr. DeBro. And
They were very symmetrical, so...
Perfect. I'm jealous.
I mean, we're not the ones that gossip, as we know, but did Sybil have, like, work done, or are those her natural, I wonder? Because they were beautiful.
They looked natural. They usually, when you get an augmentation, and I know this because I worked for plastic surgeons and stuff before, they become usually more rounded. You don't usually get that teardrop shape.
Oh, the tear! Sybil still had the teardrop nipples.
No, the breast itself, Ryan. God. This was not a comedy. This was plastic surgery perfection and satanic rituals.
How do you end October? On perfect breasts and satanic rituals. How do we keep ending up with these breasts on this show, David, when this could be further from the truth of what this show is?
Well, because Ryan, they don't the type of movies we watch don't have that other type in it.
Oh yeah.
That's for another time. This is a young adult friendly show.
Right.
In spite of the fact that we apparently they constantly have gratuitous breasts and everything we watch for the last 4 months.
I don't know about you, but I'm turning over a new leaf.
I clapped my hands and said, no more satanic sex rituals for you.
We promise to bring you a breast-free November. Upcoming.
Instead of I'm breathless, I'm breastless.
Breastless November.
That's breastless Mahoney from Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy, Madonna. Oh my god, yes, totally recommended, David, right? I would recommend this. Radical Ones, give it a watch.
Tell you something, if you are sensitive to images of the occult and possible things, I would probably not suggest it, because to be perfectly honest with you, 2,
it rang true.
It really gave me like the director knew too much about it for his own good kind of vibe. So I mean,
didn't do him well enough though.
Not been involved in anything. I won't be putting my hand over my eyes anytime soon. Making a triangle on the podcast anytime soon.
All of our triangles are just part of the 80s ensemble, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I did not get that invite from the head of the Illuminati that everyone was getting like 2 years ago from that
on Instagram.
That was looking for
new members of the Sybil Danning fan club. That's how they get you. You want to be the next Sybil Danning
actress, or like an actress, or was she like a adult star that
star? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But let's find out. Actually, let's not give this poor woman.
Yeah, by God, Ryan.
We'll never get Sybil Danning on this show. Okay, Sybil Danning is an Australian-American actress, model, and film producer.
Oh,
She's best known for her frequent appearances in B movies during the 70s and 80s. Okay, so she's alive, too. That's great. Other names, Sybil Danning. Sybil Danning Lace. She spells it with a C, and she also spells it with an S. She was a shareholder of a German ice hockey team.
Oh, wow.
Let's see what else she's done. Rise to Fame. Roger Corman's space opera Cult. Battle Beyond the Stars in 1980s. She's also in 1980s Chained Heat. Hercules from 1983. Malibu Express from 1985. And Reform School for Girls from 1986. Sounds just right up her alley, every one of them. Every one of them.
Really cool. I'm excited. How many people do you know that own like a hockey team?
A hockey team and the most beautiful breasts that these two brothers have ever seen in the lineup of Radical Retro so far. With that, we conclude our spooky season.
I want to do my Adele impression. I'm very grateful, but the artist of my life is Beyonce. You are light, Sybil Danning. Your breasts are light. The artist of my life is Beyonce. This Lemonade album was so special, so amazing.
Howling II was that album for us. And
that's for me. Was Howling II.
So you can reach David always, Radical Ones, at Universal Appeal 2020, all one word, and the Radical Retro Rewind podcast, one word, on Instagram. Of course, we're always updating that with videos. Please check us out on there. We, of course, are coming back with Thundercats next week, double episodes of that, and then, of course, November starts, all new episodes, and we got some fun things planned for you that month.
Happy haunting.
Goodbye, David.
Cue that music. Pale.
Yeah. Stay safe, Radical Ones. Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Bye.